Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. And my name is Killjoy, and today I want to talk about Nintendo's unique situation that they are in 2022. What do I mean by that? Well, we are in the month of June. The date of recording this, I believe, is like the 5th of June. And we are at a point where there's no official E3 this year, but we are seeing, we had a Sony State of Play, we know Microsoft have an event coming up, but nothing from Nintendo yet. Now, I saw some people saying that maybe they're not going to have a Nintendo Direct this month, but I feel like it's June, it's kind of time for one. But the unique situation that we have here is that we actually know most of the releases that are coming out this year and the months that they're coming out. So we're on the cusp of Mario Strikers Battle League coming out, and that is on June 10th. We then have that followed up by Fire Emblem Free Hopes on June 24th, and then also Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the big expansion for Monster Hunter Rise, on June 30th. So in June alone, we have 3 very big releases. After that, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in July 29th, but nothing else as of right now. Then we have Splatoon 3 for September 9th, so very, very early on in September. And Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out November 18th. Now, I see arguments for people saying, Nintendo doesn't necessarily need to have a Nintendo Direct now. But I feel like, even if we get a Nintendo Direct that isn't as on the high levels as some of the other ones we've had of recently, I still think we need one. Just for the free games that we know that are meant to be coming out this year. So we know about Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, apparently coming out this year. Probably, I see this as like a December game or an October game. I feel like it's going to fall into one of those. We also have Bayonetta 3 potentially coming out this year. They said it was coming out this year, so again, probably an October game. And then the game I am still waiting on, Advance Wars Reboot Camp, which I do feel like you could shove that into early July. So there is potential that could have a very, very short marketing campaign. And I will say this right now, I think Advance Wars itself, one of those games is kind of being put out to die. I think at this point, because of the delays, because of the war in the world, it's really messed over that game quite a lot, unfortunately, and that kind of sucks, because that is a game that obviously I was really excited for, and we know the game's done, right? So we know that the game's done, and it's likely coming out hopefully this year. But right now, we don't have a confirmed release date, so people are saying, oh, maybe it'll come back out in December, so they're going to sit on this game that was originally meant to come out in December last year, and for a whole year. That's, it's the sort of thing Nintendo would do, but it kind of sucks. But we still have room for other game announcements. We still have room for other games. Now, do I think Nintendo are going to announce like a big Mario game and then release it this year, like in December or something? Probably not. It's not really when you would release it. But I do think we have space for things. July right now, for example, only has Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and that's right at the end of July. You could put something out early July. Personally, I think that would be a good place for Advance Wars. You could have a Nintendo Direct in June, fairly soon, and say, like, here you go, this game is coming out in 4 weeks. Or it's coming out in, like, because the thing is, people playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 aren't going to necessarily be the same people that want to play Advance Wars. It's like when you release, like, a Mario game and an RPG. Like, they're two very different genres. Now, you don't want to eat into your own sales, potentially, but like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will probably do a couple of million in sales. Like, the series isn't like massive, but they always do decently enough. Advance Wars would never even probably wouldn't even get to those numbers. If that game even sold 1 million, that would be crazy. So we have room in July right now. So we have room in July for potentially another release. September, we got Splatoon 3. I couldn't see them competing with that, but I could see something coming out at the end of September, very early October. So this is where we have like Bayonetta and Mario & Rabbids potentially. I feel like Bayonetta 3, again, another game that is unlikely going to have, like, it might make a million, 2 million sales, probably isn't going to have a massive splash, but I do think you could have something else in October, like a Mario game. That would be a perfect place for it. It would, again, Bayonetta 3 and something like Mario, very different. And obviously, November is Pokemon. You kind of want to avoid that because Pokemon is that kind of game that just blows up. It's huge. So, and that's November 18th. So that's kind of middle November. You could, again, put like Mario & Rabbids out. Very different game. And I think Mario & Rabbids, if that is coming out this year, that is the Mario game for this year. I don't think Nintendo would then put out another one. Unless it was like Mario Party or something. But the other thing to take into consideration is DLC. Now, they could, at a Nintendo Direct announced massive DLC for a lot of games. You could see stuff for the most recent Mario Party getting like new boards. That's pretty big. You could have DLC for well, Mario Strikers will most likely get. They've announced that they're getting free DLC, so there's a place to do that. Mario Kart needs its next wave to be announced and shown off, and I really think that June would be the time to announce it. And if you don't want to release it in June, July is the perfect time for that. And on top of that, you know, just everything else that's out at the moment, and like a lot of their games, like, you know, showing off post-launch content, things like that, I think is really important. Like I said, maybe not the best Direct that Nintendo will put out, but it is about time that we saw Metroid Prime 4, maybe even the Metroid Prime remake, even Metroid Prime Trilogy, whatever ends up being the real thing. We need to see stuff like that. It would be really cool if they showed off some more of Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever the game ends up being called. You know, there was rumors for a Donkey Kong game back in the day. I would even, you know, they could show off an F-Zero. There's a lot of stuff that Nintendo could do in a June Direct that would be hype. You know, showing off footage of some bigger games coming, and even if those games are coming early next year, we know that Breath of the Wild is hopefully going to be, 2 is hopefully going to be in spring. You could have Metroid Prime 4 potentially come out next year in sort of September, October time. I think there's a lot that they could do. Nintendo's unique position right now is that we know most of this year. We know what the lineup is, and it's a bloody good lineup. There's such a mix and variety of content for people. We've got a sports game, we've got a new Warriors game, we've got a new RPG, we've got Monster Hunter content, we've got Splatoon, which is going to be big, we've got Pokemon, which is always big, you know, and then shoving in hopefully Mario & Rabbids Advance Wars and Bayonetta into that as well. But I do think, like, seeing what people are saying that, oh, you know, maybe they don't need one in June, I'm like, no, come on, like, having some announcements to really flesh out the end of this year. We don't know about December, we don't know about October, and then just showing off some big stuff, you know, coming out early next year, stuff that's coming in the next 6 months to, you know, 6 to 9 months, you know, that's fine, because then when you hit September, and if they decide to do a September Direct, you can really show off a lot of the stuff that's coming out next year. Like, you know, I don't know, I just feel like Nintendo's in a great position in terms of games. It's great that we know about a lot of games, and there's a lot of information out about the games that are coming out. Awesome. But, you know, gamers like to have stuff to look forward to all the time. And I think just padding out, if nothing else, you show off one game like Metroid for next year, and then the rest of it is focused on other games. And even if it's smaller games or third-party games that are coming out, ports, things like that, you know, just all this stuff, I think you could do a really good, solid Direct. It might not be mind-shattering like the last couple have been, but they're not all going to be, you know, to somebody, that Direct would be amazing. Somebody maybe not so much, but we already know, like, people have got stuff to look forward to, but it would be nice to have, like, some stuff to fill in, even if it's smaller games, you know? So I feel like we're at a point now where Nintendo, they're in a really good position, and then they have a potential here as well to even, like, further that and really be like, holy crap, look at this insane lineup for the rest of the year. Look at this insane for the start of the year. And I think we're ready for that, and I know I certainly am, and I'm really hoping that we do get a Direct announced fairly soon, actually. But, you know, my expectations are at the level. I'm expecting to see stuff we already know about and either get, you know, release dates or have some of those gaps filled into. And I think, you know, I'm ready for that. So, but that's it for me today, guys. Just wanted to sort of talk about this, get my thoughts out here, because any day now Nintendo could announce one, or we might not even get one. Who knows? But I thought I'd just go over this, you know, talk about what's coming out and like how this is a strong position for these guys, because it means there's stuff to look forward to all year right now and potentially more. So thank you very much for watching. As always, if you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe. Links for Facebook will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.